You're listening to this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. It would greatly benefit the show.
Did I get it wet?
So, this is a frothy brew.
You know how. What makes the brew frothy?
I don't know. I was thinking of trying to brew beer.
Physics?
The HOA probably wouldn't like it.
Okay.
But I'm going to grow weed too so they can fuck themselves. Yeah.
Welcome to Movie Baiters with the Farx brothers. I'm Kyle.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Nick.
Still.
Right? Yeah.
Unsure?
I think so.
And we are here with quadruple threat.
Ooh.
Improviser, actor, model, musician, Merritt West.
Wow.
Wow,
That's a hell of an
that's right.
entrance.
Quadruple threat.
Yeah.
Well, everyone knows.
Oh,
They walk around going, man, you've heard of some triple threats out there, you know.
Yeah.
But have you heard of a quadruple threat?
I mean, the triple threat is like I could sing, dance, and act, and if you don't like it, I'll kill you. That's the
What?
No, I know.
Well, we're talking about Avatar, the first one. This is the non-spoiler segment.
Where were you guys in 2009? Where were you in 2009? Merritt West, our guest.
Wait, when specifically did this movie come out?
2009,
December.
December?
Yeah. The copyright said 2010. That had to be a complete mindfuck for someone sitting in the theater to the end in 2009.
Well,
I time traveled.
no, because it's fiscal year stuff.
Yeah.
And like I'm in fiscal year
But to
2026.
answer the question, I was in my senior year of high school.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I think I saw it like twice. Once regular and once in 3D. I like the 3D a lot more than regular.
Where were you?
Oh,
Merritt?
in 2009, in December, I would have been in the blissful embrace of having been married for about 6 months to my wife, my beautiful wife, Leia.
Beautiful. What? And did you and Leia from I assume Star Wars go and see Avatar, which is better than any modern Star Wars?
I don't remember
Suck it.
seeing it with her. I think I probably just rented it when it came out somehow.
Oh, you didn't see it in a movie theater.
I can't remember. I mean, I feel like I should have, but I don't know.
And what's funny is that we have a recently Pandora cherry popped Nick Farx,
Yes.
who had never made it past 20 minutes trying to watch it on. Did you rent it on video, or you just saw it on HBO? Or
No, I didn't rent it. It was showing somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
When it was in the middle of a stint on some streaming that was. God, maybe it was because I did have Disney Plus for a while, and it wasn't that long ago.
Oh wait, so you tried to watch Avatar recently?
Yeah, the 20 minutes I'm talking about was like in the last few years.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, I'd never watched. I don't think I'd watched any of it prior to that.
Okay, so let's try and you're here to help us with a very special intervention. Nick Farx, what
Yeah.
was it about Avatar that you were like, nah, brah, nah.
I don't know. Well, I was in my first year. Well, not my first year of film school. Like my first complete year of film school where I didn't drop out after a week. So everyone was losing their shit over it, and that's fine. I don't know. I think I don't know. I think I was just like, I think I was really busy with school at the time, but I've also never been drawn to the big like event visual effects bonanzas. So it just didn't like. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And the 3D movies I had seen of that era when it kind of made a comeback, I'm sure they were cheap movies that were made on a much lower budget, so like they weren't maybe good representations of the new 3D technology. But I'd seen a couple. I'm like that.
Well, they did post-conversion process in some of these cases.
Some of them, but like there were ones like My Bloody Valentine or whatever. Like the 3D, like the movie is bad too, but like the 3D was like, oh, I need to go to a theater to experience that again. So the 3D I didn't care about, and I've never been that immediately drawn to like those big event, heavy CGI movies.
Have you seen an Avatar in 3D, Merritt? Avatar 1 or 2?
No.
So you never, okay.
Should I?
So to give perspective here, in my senior year of college when Avatar came out, which really dates me, I wrote I think it was it wasn't my contract law class, but one of my required business classes. We had to write like a report about a patent, and I wrote a report about the thing they put the two cameras on to film in 3D. Not the cameras themselves, but just the rig that they screwed them on. They patented that, and I wrote like a 2-page report and gave a presentation on that. I traveled 8.5 hours, maybe more, to go see it at Navy Pier in Chicago within its opening weekend. And its opening weekend didn't blow everyone away. I think it only made under $80 million. And
Yeah, it took a little bit for it to take off, right?
and there was like, oh no, this one's gonna bomb. But I had read the New Yorker profile on James Cameron in the month before in November and been like, man, we got booked tickets. And like me, my girlfriend at the time, I think 3 other dudes, all drove to Chicago and stayed in one hotel room so that we could go see Avatar at Navy Pier opening weekend in IMAX 3D. And so to me, it was like a religious experience because nothing had ever looked like that in a movie theater. And I had gone the year before to see
I'll agree with that.
The Dark Knight. So like my experiences were The Dark Knight at Chicago's Navy Pier, and then Avatar at Chicago's Navy Pier. It's like, yeah, if I'm gonna go anywhere for like a vacation or a trip, a movie reason to go, which I've done before, and they know about.
Right.
I don't like vacation. I like objective-based travel. I'm here to do a thing.
I don't think this is a spoiler, but like, I mean, the humanoid figure was pretty cool looking, when you see it the first time.
And it
right?
looks real.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it doesn't stand out as unreal like 3D CGI characters typically look in that format with.
I don't know. I didn't believe it's CGI slop.
Are you talking about
It's
3D?
not CGI slop. That's incorrect.
A lot. What would you call that then? What would you call that?
No,
It's not
because they're
computer generated.
They're using
images?
computer generated painting, more or less, using the data that they measure from, having on the first one they only used one camera, and then on the second one they have 2 high def cameras, but then they're taking the data and using that for the model, while also taking the image and then stretching it using. Could there be AI, and maybe Nick would be better to explain this than I
AI
would.
used during the making
Well,
of this movie?
it's like how you can use the thing to paint out stuff in After Effects, where it's interpolating data.
Rotoscoping?
Rotoscoping. That uses.
I was rotoscoping earlier.
You were AIing earlier?
No, that's not. No, it depends on where you draw the line at what the definition of AI is.
Well, there's different types of AI is the other thing. And AI is a blanket term that covers many things. And when I was selling supercomputers, it was the level of neural networks that you were creating would define whether it was deep learning or...
So
we're annoying. We get real in the weeds.
You're reminding me of like Star Trek's Brett Steiner, Data. He had a certain amount of neural networks going on there, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so I know Data is the android character in Next Generation. What's Brett's network?
Sorry?
Well, I followed Star Trek Data, but what was the other Brett's net?
Oh, Brent Spiner is the actor.
Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah,
He's, who he is, right?
He's played a bad guy in something I watched.
Maybe he has, but he's the crazy alien doctor guy in both. I think both Independence Day movies.
Oh,
Like the long.
Oh
you
yeah.
You don't
he
even
gets-
recognize him. That's Data from Star Trek, and then the show was on at the time Independence Day came out, but I didn't. But that's him.
Wait, were you a Trekker?
No.
You've never been a Trek.
Trekkie?
No.
Okay, you're not a real
Trekkie.
Trekker. No, the people. Okay, the term they use for themselves is Trekker.
Oh.
Outside people call them Trekkies. You don't. So you weren't a real when your father
No.
handed this down to you.
I only
he handed it
watched
down wrong.
the
Brother.
original Star Trek, so no, I wouldn't call myself a Trekker then.
Wait, TOS?
Yeah, the original series?
Yeah. So you. Oh no, I think they called themselves Trekkers too.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't even qualify myself as a Trekker then if I only seen the one series, not Next Generation, was it Deep Nine something? Deep Space Nine, yeah.
From what I've heard, I haven't watched
Discovery,
it, but
yeah.
that one has the best storyline.
Deep Space Nine? Yeah, that's the one that I think Ronald D. Moore came from. And instead of doing the episodic stories, they did long narrative stories.
Right.
And I guess, non-spoiler, and I'm very curious to find this out. I assume you saw Avatar and you liked it. That's why you picked it? Okay, cool. Since he's never seen it, I really want to know. And the most important thing in a movie is the story.
I mean,
did it have a complete story is all I'm looking for.
Oh, it had a complete... Yeah. That's what I can appreciate over today, where every fucking movie you see, Marvel and DC, whether it's Marvel or DC, they're like, now they're basically the same thing because DC stole the Marvel guy.
Well, they fired him for...
Yeah, well, they brought him back.
He's hired now.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, he's the guy now. You have to watch these 5 other fucking TV shows. And remember when we said what the phase 18 is going to be 5 years from now? Well, there's going to be a show in the year 2032 that is going to explain everything. Like, I fucking hate Marvel and DC. I fucking hate them both.
I think you hate the perception of them. What was the last Marvel movie you watched, just for the perspective of the audience?
I guess it would have been Thunderbolts.
Oh, well, I don't count that because he fell asleep for the middle.
Well,
and you fell asleep for a lot of Superman, so I'm kind of like,
spoiler
for our debate, he didn't see a bunch of it, so... you blame the movie for you falling asleep, but I don't blame the movie when I fall asleep. I'm tired.
Well, I wasn't in here now calling out Thunderbolts. That you asked me what the last Marvel movie I saw, but
I know.
The same thing. It's like you have to. These are all characters who exist from elsewhere, and that's like nothing is a complete story.
I will save that debate for when we have a guest on the show that is as passionate for Marvel as you are against it.
I'm just saying, if you imagine it as if it was not part of a huge universe, would the characters be getting proper? Would the way they introduce characters be proper introductions if it was a standalone movie? Or are they relying on you to know?
Well, that's kind of what I like about Avatar is they're playing off of trope characters, but they also have there's enough weird stuff going on that they're this trope character of the grizzled vet who is in a new that's just Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves, except he's disabled.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now that it's moot because there's Avatar 2, 3, and maybe 4 and 5. So I mean,
If
technically
3
you're
does
gonna
well
have. It's gonna do well. His first 2 made $2 billion, close to 3. So he's fine. I think James Cameron's gonna finish his.
Well, he's fine. The question is, will these movies cost hundreds of billions of dollars?
They don't cost hundreds of billions of dollars.
I said hundreds of millions. I started to say a B and then I went to an M. I was doing an uppercut and then I made it a.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. He'll probably make enough money to make another one.
This one probably has to make, but if this one makes, let's say 300 million less than the last one, they may see it as a
$2 billion.
declining. Yeah, they may see it as a declining asset, and
yeah, but if it's ranked number 3 on top movies ever, the most money ever made for a movie, wouldn't that still be a win?
What made you want to watch Avatar the first time when you watched it? I can't define
it does look cool. I dig science fiction.
All right.
Alien planet.
Was this science fiction enough for you though? I feel like there wasn't a lot of science stuff, sci-fi stuff in here.
Hard disagree, but I'm going to let the guest answer.
Well, for me, the real I don't think I'm spoiling anything when I say this. The way the guy jacks into the body. It's called Avatar, so I get that part. Right?
It's a metaphor for being online. Get it?
Or a metaphor for a lot of things.
Not that.
It's a metaphor for social media.
No, it's not.
Keep going with it's not sci-fi enough.
I don't think it is, because you have limited. We don't know how the science works. We don't know how. It's like in the first 20 minutes, they explain how they made these avatars, human DNA and Navi DNA. We don't know how they do that. Are they grown in the lab as a baby and then grows up?
Yeah, they explained that, actually. They said that it was growing while they were traveling because it took all this extra time. The guy was in cryo.
And you have to have DNA from the person that you then pair with the Navi DNA or the Omtaya or the whatever they call themselves. Was the Omtaya?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, there's watching the subtitles again. The Na'vi, like Na'vi refers to the
People
alien,
with the clan, yeah.
Na'vi. I thought Na'vi referred to all the types of people, but that clan referred to itself by a name.
Oh yeah, okay, you're probably right.
I don't speak Navi.
Well, so I'm gonna counter my brother. And
They call themselves the people.
Yeah.
Is that what that means? Oh, is Na'vi?
Well,
No, they
I just
call
read
themselves the people.
Yeah, we're not spoiling anything yet, are we?
No, I don't. I think this is all like, we know there's blue people. We know that a human has to jack himself into one at the beginning. And,
Through science fiction.
well, these are all kind of the setups of the thing, and like part of the science fiction. Like clearly, we don't know how to graft a human DNA onto another thing, another being, and then go, oh, well, we can operate that thing remotely by having it has to be grown with your DNA. So, like, to me, that's very a science fiction setup.
I'm saying there's not enough science fiction. It's surface level. You have this machine that just does what you want it to do, and then magically you are able to control this being.
I think it's an adventure movie with a
sci-fi
sci-fi driven
touch.
So here's the way that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. DNA is just an antenna.
Sure.
Okay. It doesn't generate anything. It receives. Okay. So you have the DNA in all the cells. They're all little antenna.
Mm-hmm.
And all you got to do is broadcast on the right frequency, and they'll pick it up. It's basically how your heart tells your body what to do.
I want to just counter with some other things like humans can't breathe on the planet. A lot of the sci-fi for me was shown, not told to me, and I liked that a lot. Is that
because you can't breathe on the planet? That's every other planet that we would eventually go over.
Yeah, but
to
it's close enough to, and this is where the science where the science with the fiction comes in. Is like, we assume for other carbon-based life forms to exist on another planet, there would have to be certain conditions of like an atmosphere, access to water, and these kinds of things. And so they have an atmosphere. It's just the atmosphere isn't close enough. And that's why you need these huge 9-foot tall beings with much larger lungs to breathe in that environment. And
they never qualify that though. They don't qualify.
They don't have to tell you. You know, they show you because humans
You can
can't
say
breathe.
that for any planet humans go on. We can't breathe on Pluto.
But
we can't
this one
breathe
has
on Jupiter.
specific rules. So
But they
you
don't.
use science
They
to
don't
make your
tell us
fiction.
why the Na'vi are 8 feet tall. They never say
Well, it's
anything
because
else.
there's less gravity, so they can grow taller.
And the evolution of it. Well, yeah, there is
That's
less gravity
implied.
because they
That's implied.
have
That's not told or even
floating
shown.
planets.
They have floating rocks.
Let dear Nick go.
Well, I think there's different degrees of science fiction. I think some people think like science fiction, you think Star Wars, and like everything's super heightened.
Star Wars is fantasy.
But it's fantasy, but like blended with science fiction because you're talking about like spaceships and shit. It's not magic. I mean, there's the Force is kind of magic.
Does
but,
the
like,
existence of spaceships make it sci-fi?
I would also
Is
call
kind of
Star
a-
Wars lacking in sci-fi because they never explain anything beyond our ship just runs and we have warp speed.
Midichlorians, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is science fiction because like the aircraft they're flying around that look like little FPV drones. Like with the way the propeller, whatever.
Yeah.
Like those are made up. So it's like that's the fiction part, right? I mean, it's
But
science
it has-
fiction on a more grounded level, I think.
Grounded.
Like because it's not using the science part for spaceships whizzing around and shooting lasers and shit. It's just like, oh, we use these things to fly around with the little circular things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And to put like
It's light and sci-fi.
minds into bodies and to make, but so that's like the setup, and then it's an adventure. But it's still, I think it's not science fiction by some people's definition. But if you broaden the definition of science fiction, I think it fits.
What's a gradient of a hard sci-fi movie for you,
Hard
dear
sci-fi?
brother? And everyone, please think of a hard sci-fi.
I mean,
harder.
Gattaca, that has DNA. That's I would call it-
Gattaca,
Yeah,
eugenics. Okay, cool.
literally, it's DNA. The Gattaca is
It feels like the fiction has to be reduced for you.
fiction.
Like,
what
it
do you
can't
mean?
be too fanciful in its fiction to bring fantasy back in. Fantastical or fanciful. Like, this is kind of, we don't know what it would be like to live on another
what
planet.
would be a fantastical sci-fi movie that I like? Interstellar. That I felt
Interstellar is pretty hard
fantastical,
sci-fi. Yeah. Because there's a lot of...
And it's fantastical. There's spoilers, time travel. Yeah. So I mean,
What?
Well,
you're not gonna watch it, are you?
I
Well,
watched it.
it's time travel through time dilation
Yeah,
based
sure.
on your
But that's
relationship.
fantastical, yeah. And they explain it a little bit too, not too
That's
much.
Einstein, and
Sure.
they use Kip Thorne, worked on
Mm-hmm.
that. And the thing is, I bet you, Big Jim, if he were sitting here, could explain the reason they're built like the drones is
Mm-hmm.
because there's this much air on Pandora, and therefore they have to be shaped like this, and they can have ships that operate
Yeah,
at this
but
size.
if he has to tell me in a commentary or in an interview and it's not in the story, does it count? I mean, you got to put it in the story, right? It has to be in the movie. You can't explain your science.
This is where he and I have gotten in arguments.
I think Kirk and I switched Avatar style. Kirk's on shit that I would normally be on.
Yeah, this is like you
You
for Black
can't
Phone.
explain lore
I'm
outside.
They showed us. They didn't tell me that. I didn't see it
Well,
that
that's
way.
true. They did not. But
Leave Black Phone. Someday we'll do a Black Phone episode, and I'm so excited because I want to rewatch it and go, no. They showed you this, and I'm just trying to point out stuff where they showed you. Why do the animals that don't have eyes on the front of their head have two eyes on the side? What? Oh, I mean, on Pandora, all the animals.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were just a random trivia question.
No,
Flounder.
Wait, is that true about some fish?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, what the
Well, so they used a science fact about fish to then apply it to, because a lot of the fanciful, fantastical beings on Pandora that are not Na'vi, we see that they have 4 eyes. 2
Yeah,
on each
and
side.
always additional limbs. That's not interesting, though. Look, remember
But-
we had
but
that
why-
argument.
but why
We
is
had that
that?
argument on Predator about the alien planet being alien enough. Do you
I
think
did think about that with this.
is this movie is Pandora alien enough? I don't think so. It's floating rocks and monkeys and horses and dragons that they fly on.
Yeah, I think they wanted it to be relatable to people so that they could have the
Sure.
emotional impact that they're meant to have when things happen.
Well, the difference between Predator and Pandora, for me, and I purposely used the 2 P's for alliterative there, is that Predator is somebody playing in a sandbox. Big Jim created this whole sandbox, and he came from the special effects, not the VFX, the special effects Roger Corman house. So he's making schlocky crap, but then he also learned to be a mechanic, was a truck driver, and he's a mechanical guy. And I have he's kind of like the Tom Clancy of science fiction to me, because he's thought of this stuff to the nth degree. He builds submarines and goes underground.
Yeah, but here's my counter. He also made Terminator 2, so he can make a good sci-fi movie.
What makes Terminator 2 more hard sci-fi or better sci-fi?
It's a robot.
Because it's a robot.
No, it's a robot that they explain how it happens. You have this Cyberdyne, these computers, these, I don't know how to explain it.
I see a different. I do see a difference. What I think maybe you're feeling is, in something like Terminator, the sci-fi aspect is more ingrained in the every
Piece.
I mean, it's always about the robot, and at first chasing Linda Hamilton, and then another one chasing, and now one protecting. It's woven into the the surface level of the story, has it present all the time. It's a robot all the time, or some movies it's like spaceships shooting lasers all the time. So I think that that's one degree. Those are different degrees of sci-fi.
Sorry.
Different degrees, and I think. Avatar lands on where you're not constantly watching sci-fi, you're just watching life on another planet with little bits of science fiction that are supporting breathing and transportation, but they're not the main thing.
You're saying the main thing is this hero's journey that...
Yeah, the main thing is the character interactions once that ball gets rolling, and the adventure of, I guess, being on another planet I think.
I'm not sure sorry.
No, I'm just saying, I'm seeing different, I think it's just different. It's one big umbrella. It's still sci-fi, but it's a different degree.
But I kind of feel like he's saying, because the plot doesn't use this specific form of sci-fi, like this thing came from the past, and now it's got to kill a baby it's got to kill baby Hitler to the robots. Because John Connor is Hitler to the robots because he kills the robots.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, John Connor, you don't exist.
It's not important that he get turned into a Navi at a whim. Sure,
It's not at a whim. It's very complicated for them to do it.
It is at a whim. He get into the machine and just do it.
He can't even just
He
enter
doesn't
the
even
machine.
have a training day. Technically, the Navi train him, not the scientists.
It did surprise me how many times he comes out of it. Not like I'm just surprised, neither negative nor positive. Just like, oh, I didn't know he comes out of it that many times.
Like
Yeah,
whenever
in the middle of the movie.
whenever the Avatar has to sleep, he wakes up
Oh, okay.
in his little.
Well, yeah, like what are they doing with what are the Navi doing with the body?
Everybody's sleeping.
Yeah, they.
He's just he's sleeping. He's just sleeping.
They show that. They show where he sleeps and
Yeah, and that thing.
and then the time that he doesn't get to sleep in there.
What's a sci-fi favorite of yours?
Well, you're asking about hardcore sci-fi.
it doesn't have to
and-
be hard. I think it's kind of nonsense for this.
Wow, this is a debate show.
The liquid metal makes less sense than most of the stuff on
It's
Pandora.
sci-fi. It's a robotic thing that comes back in time.
The robots need robots. It's liquid metal. It's nanites, bro.
I was gonna say. I mean, this may be
It's a lot
moving
more
off the
sci-fi, yeah.
movie topic, but some of the best sci-fi out there right now, in my opinion, is Black Mirror and Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Which
those?
uses
those are
sci-fi.
great.
Yeah, look at that.
No, those are
David
great.
Fincher. Those are shorter stories,
Right.
set in a contained universe all
Right.
the time, and yeah, I
I'm having trouble thinking of a movie that, like, I'm sure there is, but I'm just blanking.
one of the things that I found that I like the best sci-fi for me says something of sociopolitical, and it's interesting to me is we're in the year 2154, and they have the ability to fix quadriplegics. It just costs a lot of money. Right. And you can only get that if the corporate healthcare. And I don't feel like that's really spoiling anything to say that's the world we're in. And, apparently people are still fighting in wars 150 years from now or 125 years from now. I heard a joke from Robbie Hoffman yesterday on her special that just came out. It's like, hey, why is it okay for women to be gay and men, like in popular culture, not to be gay? Well, men, we've been on good behavior. Okay, you have been on bad behavior. Let's go 100 years with no war, and then you can be you will be stigmatized. And I don't. This is a comedian's joke that you can go watch, and it's much better than.
No, that kind of strikes a little bit at the core of the matter, right? I mean,
Man's evil.
well,
Yeah.
Not men like sex
Yeah, we
gendered
know
wise.
it.
I just
We know what you
mean
meant.
human is evil.
no, there's just a correlation between a man feeling like he has to go to war and also kind of feeling like emasculated at the same time. I mean, feeling like he has to prove himself somehow because he somehow can't live up to what a woman wants from him.
Yeah, I mean, we brought up Troy before. Hey, that's my woman, It's time in memoriam. How do you? I don't know if there's a debate topic here, but I think it's interesting that it's a story of I'm not even supposed to be here today. The line from Clerks.
The reluctant hero?
Jake Sully is not supposed to be he's the average person, Although he's got qualities.
He's former Marine. Would you call that average person?
No, I wouldn't. But he's not supposed to be there, so he's.
Didn't they want him because of his brother?
Well, he has the same DNA. He's a twin, so similar DNA. All this money they spent developing the Navi, they don't have to throw away on,
Yeah, I don't know if this is a spoiler because you find all that out in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's like, my brother was just gunned down just randomly. It's like, really? Are we supposed to wonder about that?
Well, it never comes up again.
It doesn't, and they don't they barely address it. But how much do people on Earth know about what's going on Pandora?
Right.
Has the human race discovered anything else like Pandora? Because supposedly they find it through satellites and stuff in like the years 2050 through 70. And then they've been on planet for about 30 years based on like, I can't remember if this is stuff from deleted scenes or like extra textually that you figure out, but they've been there for a couple of decades. And then, not to spoil anything from the second one, which takes place years later, they've been there for about 50 years, as is mentioned there. So we know that humans have been on Pandora doing some sort of operation for, they've been there for about as long as we were in Afghanistan.
Wow. That's a great comparison, I guess.
It's not conspiracy. I mean, I'm just pointing out to some
comparison, yeah.
If you want to like conspiracy of this movie,
I do.
So, this guy is a Marine, and they got this faction of Marines on the planet that are there as mercenaries because they're basically just trying to harvest the planet for what they want.
Yeah, they're working for a corporation, it seems, but they're there on behalf of a governmental body, it seems like, because like it says...
they're pretty much mercenaries. I don't think that there was any kind of military, other than the fact that they were Marines.
There's a governmental organization there, and it's like how Star Trek, there's like the science side of the house, but then there's the... There's the... we still have to have a security team, and...
Well, I mean, the corporate guy is all about, like, this is the reason we're here. This is the reason we're here.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's the corporate backer, and then there's the science that theoretically is nonprofit, and then there's the Marines protecting, or mercenaries, or former military, or there's something with like the you see it on a joystick when someone's moving something. It's branded with theoretically the governmental body that has
RDA or something.
Yeah, RDA, and it stands for something. And I looked it up before this. I don't remember it offhand. I think there's a big difference, and this is kind of at the time this came out in 2009. This is when we're learning about Blackwater contracts and like, wait a second, are we continuing a war overseas because it is profitable for people here? Was Vietnam started on a false flag? That's a matter of fact. It's a matter of history, like, so, Gulf of Tonkin, it makes me very uncomfortable. And in spoilers, we can go to, what do we think Big Jim's trying to say about all this? But I think significantly, he starts working on this movie in 2005. We've gone to war in Afghanistan and Iraq by that point. The country's mood has clearly changed. We're 1 year into the new presidency of hope and change, and guess what? Everything gets fixed then, right? But I guess people in 2009 compared to the previous 8 years, I felt like we're a little more hopeful. Am I wrong there?
In 2009, they were definitely more hopeful.
That was the mindset.
How it was highlighted by the person who won the 2008 election was that he preferred the version of the world presented by Star Trek than the version of the world presented Star Trek 2009 than the version of the world presented by The Dark Knight.
He really meant the 2009 Star Trek.
Well, yeah, because it came out that year, and he was kind of commenting on culture, and he's famous for commenting on books, movies, and music. So that was one of the parallels he drew. Now, obviously, that was in his favor because it helped his popularity at the time when he was enjoying 70% of, I'm hoping change. So I feel like that mixed with space travel really works because people felt hopeful. So like, hey, we should go explore this vast universe. Maybe it's all possible, but we got to be careful because man, as we've already discussed, has evil intent in his heart because he's insecure about women. I don't know.
And man is mortal. Having studied, you must have learned that man is mortal.
Yeah. Is there anything to the handicapped aspect? Like,
what do you mean? In what way?
It's interesting that the protagonist, our white savior, blue savior,
it's not that he's handicapped. I think the bigger issue is that he's a white guy going to save a bunch of indigenous people. Like, that's weird, right? A white guy goes into a blue body.
I don't know. I think it's just a plot device. You kind of got to get the audience to relate to somebody, and hopefully the main character is somebody they can relate to, So having him be an average Joe guy who has gone through some hardship and maybe is still going through it's a struggle, people can relate to that,
It also gives him the thing where, and I like struggle to do this in my writing too, like have a character who at the start, there's something that they would absolutely, it would shock you if they did it, something they would never do, and then by the end they're doing it.
They have to. The plot makes them.
But it has to be their choice though too.
Yes.
But the events influence their choice, but it does still have to be a choice in the end. Otherwise, it doesn't.
Wake
mean
Up
anything.
Dead Man, if you haven't seen it yet, does an interesting thing about choice, and it
Yeah.
relates specifically to the theme of that Knives Out story,
Yeah,
which is religious. But
I think. Because I did watch it in 2 pieces.
but this person has to choose.
Yeah.
Is a very important element of Wake Up.
But
Dead
this is in this case, if he he's got the carrot dangled in front of him that he'll get his legs.
Yeah.
Spoiler, but I mean that's not.
That's early on. Yeah.
Well, it actually isn't, because I thought about this when I was watching it.
It was pretty early on.
There's a little bit. Of
Well, he makes an
stuff that
offer.
happens.
The military guy makes him an offer that if you help me in this way, you'll get your
Oh,
legs.
Yeah, it's not
Okay,
like
yeah.
the first 5 minutes, but it's definitely Act 1.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It's I
It's
guess
the call
I'm
to
confusing it with the
adventure.
confirmation of that, but like that's as much of a spoiler as that is. Some people don't even believe in spoilers, and I'm kind of on
Yeah.
that side. Like a good story is still a good story. Did
yeah.
you know he's his father?
No.
What?
What?
Well, it'd be spoilers to say how
Star
that
Wars.
pans out, but like it gives him a thing where, this is a thing where he's never going to turn down that offer, right? He's never going to do something to jeopardize that offer to get his legs back, right?
That's a good description of what the hero's arc and how it's observed in this plot.
Yeah, and I think you just need something. That's a way. Having something like that is something like it's a shorthand for showing the arc. If you have something that they would never do, you can have an arc without this.
Sure.
But like, how do you show the arc? And setting that up is a good way to show an arc, because like you have something like, oh my god, they would never do this. But then if they do that thing at the end, that's a very easy way to like communicate the arc, because the arc can be happening, but like you gotta like make it easy to see also without just telling the arc like, hey, I'm changed now. They can't just pop out of a cake at the end like, I'm different. You have to like see them do something, or
You have to go in the story circle.
and having it be a very
hero's
specific
journey.
decision like makes it very front and center, makes it very easy to identify, I think.
Do you think that happened in this movie?
Well, it didn't happen as, yes, it did, but like, I'm tiptoeing around spoilers, but like, it didn't happen as dramatically as I thought, but it still happened. I'd be
Yeah, I think we
spoilers to say
should
anything.
probably hop right into
Well,
spoilers.
I wanted to point out a concept about that I learned from improv, of like that sort of relates to story circle, but goes back to our beginning thing. And I think to get like what you're saying with, you have to introduce a character who people understand, and then have people understand this is the thing they'd never do, and then by the end of the movie have them do that thing because now you want to see them do that thing. And then where we talk about tropes with characters and stuff, one of the things, and tell me if you've talked about this, and as we may get to in your review, which is forthcoming. In improv, we talk about high status and low status of like how characters interact with each other. And I guess with Jake Sully, what I see as intentional is he's in space. That's high status. I've never been to space. He wasn't supposed to be there. Low status. He was a Marine. High status. He's disabled. And then, goes on the journey of he's now an avatar, and here we are on the... So just, that's where I do see like enough variance in characters that like Jim Cameron creates. I don't see them as like, in his movies, like they're not going to win Oscars, but I don't think they need to, Like he's never going to direct, because his characters are on the nose always and like doing like adventure things. And they don't award that sort of thing in the, highfalutin circles.
Yeah, well, but did obviously Titanic won Best Picture, but did it? It didn't.
Oh yeah,
did
that's
it-
a great point. Everything I said is moot, kind of.
Did it?
But the
Yeah, but you're
actors
talking
lost.
about the actors.
The
Yeah.
actors lost to
You're talking-
James L. Brooks' movie.
As good as it gets.
As good as it gets. Yeah, Jack Nicholson and Helen
Yeah.
Hunt won that year. I wish I didn't know that off the top.
I was speculating and wondering whether or not the screenplay for Titanic won.
Yeah.
I bet it was nominated.
It had to have been.
If it was nominated for Best Picture, probably. Because this was when it was still only 5, so it's not like. You know, now because it was very predictable. Like
There were
with
less
5.
movies though too.
Less movies, but you know, you didn't have this thing you have now with 10 movies where like you can have 10 movies for best picture. Like, well, which 5 are going to be the best directing, right? Because it was always going to be, it was almost always like the 5 best pictures were the 5 directing nominees usually. I mean, like very close overlap. And now it's just like, well, there's 10, but which 5 are going to be the 5 that get all the other awards?
With this movie in particular and the acting, as you brought up, it would be difficult to give somebody an Oscar for their acting when half of it is in a CGI character.
100% disagree because they are recording the performance and they are adapting it. They wanted to give Robin Williams an Oscar nomination for his performance as the genie in Aladdin, but because Sigourney Weaver has a unique performance in this.
Sure.
From her, she's already a god of sci-fi. Right. Alien. She's going to be in it's not sci-fi. And I guess like Ghostbusters I don't really consider sci-fi. But my point is just, she already had, you know, a bunch of franchises and still she creates something unique here. So I know you wanted to end it.
Yeah. But
you're going to debate on Sigourney. You're
yeah,
going to anti-Sigourney?
No, because her face is completely different from the other Navis. Well, the other avatars. Because her face has an actual nose. For some reason. She has a human nose. For whatever reason. And look at Jake Sully's after face. His nose is drooping down like an actual Navi. So the problem is we're giving these characters way too much human to do their performance. So like, isn't that a disadvantage for Sam Worthington for his acting then? Like, why are we?
Because he's not as good.
Yeah. So they gave him a regular Navi nose. Like,
I don't have.
I do think it's really too hard to judge to like no like. You could either think a performance is better or worse unfairly depending on what they do after the motion capture. The voice is the voice. At least back then it was. I mean, now they could change the tone with AI, but like, I don't know.
I don't think the acting was that great anyways. It's not terrible, but it's not like
Giovanni Ribisi was great.
Well, Zoe Saldana.
Yeah.
She never has a human character, so if she won an Oscar for her Navi character, I mean...
Honestly, I like her better in this than I do Emilia Perez.
She wasn't in there?
Yes, in Emilia
She won
Perez?
the Oscar for Emilia Perez.
Oh, wait, who are you guys talking about? Zoe Saldana?
Yes, she won. She's the lawyer for Emilia Perez.
From penis to vagina.
Yeah. I mean, if you ask me, those animal characters, those sold the show. I mean,
they shot actual horses.
They should get the Oscar.
They killed horses?
No, they
shot horses.
They filmed horses in their studio for the. Yeah. That's why I think like this is not CGI slop, and to say that is factually offensive.
Maybe it's CGI slop is too much. Fine, it's like watching a video game. How about that?
It does have a video game quality, but I did find it's like if a video game was
24 frames per second instead of 120. That's what occurred to me. It's like, the whole area looks like it's nice looking. I can tell it's not real, but it looks real enough where it's not like it doesn't hurt my eyes. I like looking at it, but I can still tell it's not real. But I'm okay with that.
But you only because you're bringing that to the thing. Like they've done everything they can to make it look real. And
I'm just saying
realistically.
I mean, just saying this is how it looks to me.
Yes, which is no one can argue with that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a great place to end this argument. Let's have it spoilers. Yeah. Thank you for listening. For more JK Productions, find us on Instagram at JK Productions Team and on Facebook JK Productions MN.